Hi student, today's session I am discussing about most important questions of ASP.NET Core MVC and their answers. ये जो वीडियो है इसके अंदर मैं आपको बताऊंगा सबसे ज़्यादा पूछे जाने वाले ASP.NET Core MVC के इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन और आपको किस तरीके से आंसर देना है जिससे इंटरव्यू पूरी तरह से सेटिस्फाई हो। क्योंकि इंटरव्यूअर के सामने आप क्वेश्चन का जब आंसर देते हो तो क्वेश्चन के करस्पॉन्डिंग जो आंसर आप देते हो उसी से बहुत सारे और क्वेश्चन बन जाते हैं और उससे आप एक इंटरव्यू के ट्रैप में फंस जाते हो। तो मैं आपको इस पर्टिकुलर वीडियोस के अंदर बताने वाला हूँ ASP.NET Core MVC के ऐसे क्वेश्चंस जिसको आपको किस तरीके से आंसर करना है, वो भी एक कंसाइज वे में। ये सभी चीज़ें हम इसके अंदर डिस्कस करेंगे। तो सबसे पहले जब आप ASP.NET इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन राउंड में जाते हो तो सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन तो यही होता है कि व्हाट इज़ ASP.NET Core MVC। तो इसको आप किस तरीके से डिफाइन करोगे, तो आपको ऐसा बताना है कि इट इज़ अ वेब फ्रेमवर्क यूज टू बिल्ड web applications using the model view controllers pattern. Okay, it is a design pattern that is used to distribute the projects on different layers. Models handles data and business logics, views displays UI and controllers handles user request. तो इस तरीके से आपको इसको मैनेज करना है। सेकंड क्वेश्चन है व्हाट इज MVC पैटर्न। ओके, MVC मीन्स मॉडल व्यू कंट्रोलर्स. Okay, again you can manage model is for data, views for UI and controllers for logics. Okay, the third question, what is controller? Controllers handles user request and return response. ये इसका एक बिल्कुल कंसाइज आंसर है। इसके लिए आपको इसका सिंटैक्स भी बता सकते हो कि कंट्रोलर्स यूज कंट्रोलर बेस क्लास and it use IAction result and index method or any action method and return view or other different type of view objects. Okay, what is IAction result? ये भी एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है। IAction is result is interface is used to return different types of responses using different type of objects such as view object to return the view page, JSON, redirect to action, content, these all things it returns and handles. After that, what is view? View is used to display user interface. Okay, by default ASP.NET Core MVC provide Razor view that contains C# as well as HTML code. Okay, it uses different type of Razor's views elements and their attributes with tag helpers. Okay, lots of things it uses and their extension is .cshtml. What is model? Model, you can simply say that model is the class and it contains the set of properties using getter and setters. Okay, and it is basically used to manage the database layers and used to demonstrate the database entities. What is routing or routing? Okay, it is used to decide the URL of the ASP.NET Core MVC and it is managed by app routing middlewares and their routing is used to generalize the which controllers and action method will be called. And their URL patterns is very simple. First you will manage the domain name, after that controller name, after that action method's name. Okay, what is dependency injection? It is a common question for each ASP.NET Core MVC interview questions. So dependency injection is basically used to inject the one classes to another without creating the objects. Means if you want to implement the functionality of another classes with loose coupling behaviors, then you can use this. And for dependency injections, we mostly use dependency injections under the constructor of the controllers, initialize the constructors as a parameters to dependency injections classes and initialize this constructor block. Okay, this is the syntax of dependency injections implementations. Okay, the here I student service is injected by the home controllers constructor methods. Okay, and this dot service equals to service, their meaning is that we are injecting the service reference under the home controller objects. So this is the functionality of dependency injections. It is also called loose coupling behaviors. What is app settings.json? It is the most important files of ASP.Core MVC that is used to set the different type of configuration. Suppose that you want to set the connection strings and all other type of global configurations. If you manage, then you can define here. This is the syntax of app settings.json. What is middleware? Middleware handles request and response pipeline. Okay, तो मीन्स रिक्वेस्ट एंड रिस्पॉन्स के बीच में जो पाइपलाइन होता है वो मिडिलवेयर के थ्रू होता है. Middleware most contains authentication, authorization, routing, these different type of middlewares by default loaded when you request the ASP.NET Core MVC applications first time from the browsers. Okay, so first when you request, then it will go into the middleware. After that, middleware will load the controllers, actions, and methods, controller action methods and views, and then response will be generated. So this is the complete pipeline system that will be managed by the ASP.NET Core MVC each time. What is www root folders? It is store static files such as CSS, images, JavaScript. Okay, this question also asked by the multiple interviewers. Okay, what is ViewData? It is used to pass the data from controllers to view. Okay, using dictionary format means key value pair, and you can directly access by using @ViewData, and their key will be managed. What is ViewBag? ViewBag is also used to pass the data from controllers to view, and it store data as well as their type. Okay, hence no need to implement typecasting operations into the ViewBag, but in ViewData you will manage the typecasting operations. What is the TempData? It is called persistent object, means we can use TempData to store the data of one controllers to another, and cross controller also it can use. Means after that, if you want to perform the redirection, then ViewBag and ViewData can be empty, but TempData will store the data into the persistent way, and we can use this data into the another cross controllers. Okay, means after redirection, HTTP redirection, it will contains the data, it will not remove the data. That's why we use keep method also. Okay, so this is a persistent object. What is partial view? Okay, partial view means reusable view. Suppose that you want to create some UI components and their designing you can create by the partial view, and this partial view can be attached from the main view or any child view. Okay, @HTML.partial method is used by the ASP.NET Core. What is layout page? It is a common user interface. Okay, common user interface. If you want to change the display of the website or web pages, then you can modify the layout pages. It is equivalent to master page of traditional ASP.NET Core, ASP.NET web form, sorry, and each contains render body and render sections methods to render the content of child page or any sections. Okay, and it will be defined always underscore layout.cshtml. We can create multiple common UI page, means layout page. What is model binding? Okay, model binding means suppose that you are creating any HTTP action methods under the controllers, then you can directly pass model as a parameters. The model will automatically bind under the controller methods. What is tag helpers? Tag helpers means if you want to define any HTML form elements or HTML elements or any anchor tag, then if you use different type of tag helpers, suppose that ASP action, ASP controllers, this is a different type of tag helpers to provide the dynamic features to the HTML elements. What is action method? Action method is used to define the functionality under the controllers. It is the main component of controllers that is used to connect the controllers to views and models. What is Razor View Engine? Razor View Engine is generally, this is the default engines of ASP.NET Core MVC, and it is generally used to render the C# code into the HTMLs and generate the response objects. What is the Kestrel? It is a web server of ASP.NET Core MVC. Okay. What is HTTP GET? Okay, this is a one type of verb that is used to handle the HTTP GET type of request. HTTP POST, it is used to handle the HTTP POST type of request. It is the HTTP method is also called verb in ASP.NET Core MVC, and generally it put under the HTTP action results methods of the controllers. What is redirect to action? It is used to move the content from one controllers to another. Okay, if you want to perform the redirection from one controller to another controller's methods, then also you can use redirect to actions. What is JSON result? If you want to return the result into the JSON format, that is called JSON result. What is dependency injection lifetime? There are three different type of lifetime: scope, transient, scoped, and singleton. What is session? Session is store data under the server. What is cookie? Cookie is used to store data in a browsers. What is view component? Reusable component like partial view but more powerful. How to pass data from controller to view using ViewBag, ViewData, and TempData. Okay, these are the important topics also I am discussing. जब भी आप ASP.Core MVC के इंटरव्यू में जाते हो तो MVC आर्किटेक्चर क्या होता है, CRUD ऑपरेशंस का कोड आपको याद होना चाहिए, डिपेंडेंसी इंजेक्शन के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, एंटिटी फ्रेमवर्क कोर के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, रूटिंग के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, मिडिलवेयर के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, वैलिडेशंस के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, रेजर व्यू इंजन कैसे काम करता है, टैग हेल्पर्स क्या होते हैं, वेब एपीआई का इंटीग्रेशन क्या होता है, ये सभी टॉपिक्स आपको अच्छे से पता होना चाहिए। तो ये जितने भी क्वेश्चंस मैंने आपको बताए हैं, इन सभी क्वेश्चंस को आप बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ करके जाइए। इनके आंसर्स आप और जनरलाइज भी कर सकते हो। मेरा मेन कंसर्न ये था कि मैं आपको मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स बताऊं ASP.NET कोर MVC के, जो भी आपके इंटरव्यू के लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो। तो आप इसको जरूर पढ़िए। डेफिनेटली बहुत सारे ऐसे टॉपिक्स हैं जो आपको इंटरव्यू में पूछे गए होंगे या इंटरव्यू में पूछे जाएंगे। थैंक यू।